Many college students these days are frugal because on top of tuition, room and board, loans, and more, textbooks aren't cheap. Finding ways to cut corners and stretch paychecks typically leads students to choose the cheapest options available to them when it comes to textbooks. Some of the cheapest textbooks nowadays are digital. But just because they're the cheaper option doesn't mean they're the best option. Both physical textbooks and ebooks have their advantages and disadvantages. Let's examine the classic physical textbook first. Right off the bat, it's easy to point out that many textbooks don't have to be bought brand new. Buying an already used textbook can lower the price significantly, and renting is always an option too. Physical textbooks are also typically widely available on sites like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Chegg, and those are only to name the most well-known textbook selling sites. They may even be available at the college library or tutoring center, making its cost to a student zero. Having a physical copy also makes it possible to sell the book and the chance to make some money back after you're done with it. Or you can keep the textbook forever to use even after your class is over, and if properly taken care of, it will last a very long time. It's also great to own a physical copy to make marginal notes and highlight important ideas. But I'm sure we've all experienced this once in our college career. An aching back from a backpack loaded with heavy textbooks, or even experience not being able to fit all of our textbooks in one backpack. On top of that, there's still the more expensive option. Although renting a physical textbook or purchasing a used copy can reduce its price, it's usually not by much. Then there's also the fact that many places don't offer a lot of money to buy back the textbook when you're finished with it. There may also be a long wait for textbooks to come through the mail, and even a wait for them to be back in stock. With all these facts considered, let's take a look at why an e-textbook could be the best option for you. So, speaking of waiting for textbooks to arrive, there wouldn't be a wait if you purchased a digital textbook. The whole textbook would be available to you right at your fingertips the moment you purchased it. The digital aspect also makes it easy to search keywords and find exactly what information you need in seconds. This can eliminate all that page flipping, skimming, and trying to remember what chapter you read that information in. And although you can make notations and highlight in a physical textbook, making these annotations in an e-textbook isn't permanent. Having an e-textbook also eliminates bulk. You can carry all your textbooks in one device. Finally, this option is almost always the cheaper one. But a digital textbook isn't all that it's chalked up to be. Of course, a device is necessary to be able to access the textbook. While usually they can be read from a computer or laptop, it's often easier to use a small e-reader, but those can be very expensive, depending on the brand and included features. Digital textbooks also cannot be sold back, and you typically don't own it forever. Copying and printing the digital textbook is also usually limited, so if you need to print a lot of exercises or lab work from it, you could run into trouble. I also mentioned that you can highlight and notate a digital textbook like a physical one, but that's only if the device or provider has that option available to you. So when it comes down to it, both printed textbooks and digital ones have their own unique set of advantages and disadvantages. As a student, it's best to decide what's most important to you. Price. An e-textbook can be the cheapest option available, but remember that you also need a device to use them, and they can be expensive. Annotation and highlighting. This is available for both, except when using a rental textbook or a copy of a digital textbook that doesn't offer that feature. Weight. An e-textbook trumps a physical copy in this category, as it's confined to one portable device. Ownership. Physical textbooks can be yours forever once purchased, compared to a limited time available on a digital device. Buyback. Textbooks that you buy can be resold for a small amount, and digital textbooks cannot be. So, which will you choose?